I think we're live. I think that was thunder. I was like, what the hell is that? I thought it might be the front door, but it wasn't. Nope. All right. Let me really quickly just check the tuning on this. As out of tune guitars make me angry. Yeah, new strings. New strings, bro. Just ever so. Oh, so close. There you go. There it is. That's in tune. Confirmed. All right, where are you? Here you are. Who do we got? Chris, Deanna, James, Yeti Matzi, Nelson, Super Lead, Seth, Electro Mega, Patrick, R2, R3, John Doe, Cooch 13, Zach H, Matt, Vimps, Larry, Majestic PB and J Cat, Dance Yates, Fretless Ed, Guitar 45, Zoots, Patrick, and Speaker. I think we have a quorum. We got Bill, Music Sound Gear, Gary Davlin. What's up, dude? What's up, Chris? Buckeye Punchy. We got Tony. What's up, Tony? Ben. What's up, Jim? What's up, DL? Zofo? Yes, the 612VIIFMX. It's one of the catchiest names ever. The VIIFMX. The 612 VIIFMX. What's up, Retro Puffer? Y'all, I ordered the PRS NF3. Oh, yeah, you drank the Kool-Aid. Damn. Yeah, I should talk to Zounds and see if they can loan me one. What's your take on the heat dome? Yeah, it got hot here for a few days. And we had to crank up the, we had the air conditioner. I set the air conditioner on the second floor to 64 to try to keep it from turning off at night and try to chill the house down before the day came around again. Because if I don't do that, you know, if I start the house at like 68 or 70 degrees, my house gets 80 degrees with the air conditioning running full tilt. This air conditioner is like not even close. I need like twice the tonnage that this dude, you know, put in. to cool this house down. It's not even close. Or I could add mini splits, the supplement, you know. But it's like a 3-ton. He was the only one in a 3-ton. Everyone else was at 4-ton. One dude was at 5-ton. Probably needs the friggin' 5-ton. Yeah, the NF3 3 looks cool. Has anyone seen one outside of the official photographs? Has like anyone done a video on it yet? Have you seen a video? Have you seen it in video? Because the official photographs look great, but I assure you that was done in like the best of studios. And when you get one like in person, you might be, not quite the same as what it was looking like. Like in the studio, you're like, in the studio shots, you're like, wow, like that really looks good. But it's under like the best lighting conditions. So, I very often find that the colors aren't exactly the same. You actually see one on video, and you can take, like, once they get out and people have them in their hands, then you can really see what the color looks like. I do that a lot of times when I'm looking at a guitar. I'll go out and I'll look at, like, the color in a bunch of different places to see, like, is this really what the color looks like? Because you can sort of take a sampling. You know? Yeah, I think you might buy tons of vids out there. I'll have to take a look. I've only seen the official photos. I haven't seen it in a video. So. You watched a ton of videos already. It sounds great on video. Okay, and it's they're mini humbuckers, right? Well, we can look it up. We can look it up. Looks like they got some buzz with this model. I guess it would be SE series, right? I'll let you see what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this in signature. You would think it would be right up front. All right. Is that it right there? Right there. There it is. Under specialty. You going maple or rosewood? There's good qualities about it. I might go rosewood. Cool looking pickup, something straight out of like the 60s, maybe the early 70s. Versatile workhorse. The PRS SE NF3 is a distinct guitar. Not distinctive? In the PRS lineup. The heart of this guitar is a trio of PRS narrow field pickups, the first for the SE series. Supporting these pickups is a poplar body. I want to get back to that whole poplar body thing in a little bit. 22 fret bolt-on maple neck and rosewood fretboard. Nice to see they're using rosewood and not, carte blanche or whatever friggin' wood is out there. Yeah, it's got a whole bunch of like, Lingdom file. So what the hell is that? That's nice to see. It's rosewood. Versatile workhorse, fun to play, hard to put down. The narrow field DD, the double D's, deep dish, S pickups. Yes, indeed, they are S now, aren't they? Are made with Taylor bobbins to fit a more width and extra metal pieces in between. So basically, you're not getting a pick guard for this outside of that, right? That's not a Strat style pickup. You're not replacing these pickups with another pickup. It's a proprietary pickup size, right? That does not look like a standard Strat style pickup. So, there's that. Oh, look, it's Brian. God, I've met Brian several times. He was at a bunch of the events. And I've seen him at NAMM a bunch of times too. It can punch, it can cry, it can lay down, or it can sing. Okay. It's perfect for rock, blues, gospel, country, or jazz. Now that makes sense. Those are all very similar. What are we doing? You know, it must be hard to write copy. You don't want to leave anyone out. Is it good for death metal? Sure. How about new death metal? Actually, no. I'm just kidding. Of course it is. It's proprietary, brah. You just got proprietaried. So, I'd say that's the only downside. You know, what with the propriety and all. And, man, you know, that's a sharp-looking guitar. I will say that does look pretty sharp. This one is also a versatile workhorse. It's also good for rock, blues, gospel, country, or jazz, even though it has a completely different pickguard. Fretboard. I kind of like that. It's got a nice look. I feel like they're doing a little bit darker on the birds, too, to make it pop against the pop and the pop-pop. You know, a little bit of contrast. It's like a Lamborghini. Was that Lambo orange? I'll never admit it. It's Lambo. Come on, just say it. What are you calling it? What are you calling it? Where is it? No? I go past it? What's the color? No? No official color listing? Alright. So 1, 2, to a Strat. Ice blue metallic. Gunmetal gray. Metallic orange. Oh, God. Just call it Lambo. And pearl white. And for the other one, what were the colors? We didn't do that. Let's take a quick look. I don't know. And maybe the colors are the same. And it doesn't matter what you get for fretboard. You're going to get ice blue metallic, a gunmetal gray, a metallic orange, or a pearl white. Okay. I see what's happening here. White pickguard, black pickguard, black pickguard, black pickguard. Sure. Makes sense. All right. Looks cool. I'll talk to Zounds. Let's see if I can get one here. All right, so speaking of, Quentin just reminded me, he just wrote gig bag, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, and he brings up a good point. Gig bag, indeed. Back when I reviewed the EVH, it was a great guitar, wonderful guitar, lovely guitar. I thought it played really nice. Thought it sounded really great. It was a joy. It was a wonderful guitar. Bag I thought was a little lacking. You know, it's like you, as I've said many times, it's like you bought a diamond ring and they delivered it wrapped in newspaper. You're like, huh? I mean, the ring is great, but you know the packaging leaves something to be desired. And the other thing I was sort of critical about was the price, which was $16.99, when you could get the EVH, which had a different method for treating the neck. It was oiled instead of polyurethane. It had hand relic body instead of a machine relic body, and it had 3 colors instead of 1 color. So it was a significant increase in labor to make that guitar, and it was $19.99 versus $16.99, and I forget if it maybe it didn't come with a bag or a case, but it wasn't much more money. Very close in price. I think it was it Adorama? One of these places, like one of those weird, like giant mega camera places like Adorama, you know, like giant just merch place. They were doing them for, drum roll, $7.99. Now at $7.99, you're like, now you're talking. Now we're talking. $16.99, I'm like, really? But $7.99, oh, huh. See, it's a different huh, right? $16.99, I'm like, huh? $7.99, I'm like, huh? See? Very different huhs. So, I just thought that was a pretty good price, pretty good deal. Someone had alerted me to it, and I checked it out, and it was real, but you couldn't buy it online. I think you had to call them. So I mentioned it to Bobby, and Bobby says, I'm calling him. I don't know if he bought one. He probably didn't, but he goes, I just want to see if this is real. He goes, it absolutely is real. It's on sale. $7.99 for the red one. The other two were $16.99. I was like, wow, damn. Oh yeah, so poplar body, you were saying. I said, thanks for reminding me on that. So I think people missed my point with that Donner guitar. A lot of people were like, oh yeah, well you can get like a Harley Benton, you could get a G&L. Insert brand here, right? The other one was just Squire, and because with the coupon, I want to say that Donner is like $3.99, and I should have emphasized it more, and I was surprised it was lost on so many people. But how many of those? Just give me the short list of the Harley Bentons that come with an alder body, right? How many Squires come with an alder body? You get it, right? That was the whole thing about that, and I should have been clearer about it. The whole thing about that was it's an alder body. You can't get an alder body for less than the cheapest Fender, like Player Strat or something like that. They finally get into it at like some level in the sort of in the made in Mexico level, right? Then you can get alder. But below that, it's poplar or agathis or whatever it's like Asian mahogany. They don't use they don't use alder. Not at all. It's not going to happen. You're never going to see alder on that PRS, on a PRS. It's never going to happen. They use what the locally sourced woods. The locally sourced wood is poplar. But I think what Donner did was they got somehow some source of alder, and they were using alder to be exactly like the Fender. So if that is important to you, and for a lot of people it doesn't mean any difference, they don't care. But if you want something that is the alder wood, you're not getting it out of Squire. You're not getting that out of Harley Benton, period. It's just not going to happen. That was the difference with that Donner. And the Donner had a nice gig bag. Thank you. Nice gig bag. Exactly. And the Donner, I will say, that was like the nicest Donner I've had here. It was like easily the best one. It was like really nice right out of the bag, I guess. I say right out of the case, but right out of the bag. Poplar might have problems anchoring screws for the bridge and stuff. I don't know. Poplar's actually been used for a very long time. It's what the early Ibanez stuff was before they switched over to mahogany for the most part. It was poplar. A lot of the early, that's what my Ibanez Les Paul Custom, what is it, like the 15, I forget now, like the 1580 or something like that. I forget the model. Yeah, poplar isn't a looker, but it sounds fine. Yeah, a lot of the woods that they use for bodies, I think that Leo just used alder because it was available. And so I went with alder, and when alder became a problem, he went to ash, right? They went to what was available. But now that it's been used for so long, it builds a reputation. That's what happens. People get used to a thing, and they don't want to change. And so, and the other thing you notice is that alder products, having tested a bunch of guitars in a row now, alder's kind of heavy. Alder has a little bit of weight to it, at least the ones I'm sure the weight varies depending on where it was grown and the, moisture content and all that, but The last few Alder, that telly had a little bit of weight to it. That was an Alder body. It was a very poplar wood. So my Celtics won. They pulled it out. I guess it was Monday, right? It's pretty good. They had the parade yesterday. I am, there was a time my son went. He was down there. He had a picture of the duck boats and the trophy. He got down there early and hung out in front of the garden. So he was at like ground zero for, all of that stuff. And he said when they got there, they were like 4 people deep. And we were like, oh, God, we got here too late. We should have got here early. He goes, by the time the boats rolled by, I turned around and you could just see people behind me for as far as the eye could see. It's like, I don't know what they think they're going to see. They were so far back. Because it was just crazy how packed it got. So, but I couldn't do that, God. There was a time where I would go when I was younger, but no, God, no. Ugh. Hell no. I don't even want to watch it on TV. I do that under protest. Yeah, we are. The Celtics have the most wins of any team now. So, who else has been under the heat dome? We got a couple of really hot days. We actually got sort of cooled off starting yesterday. That's why they postponed the parade. They didn't want to deal with all the, heat stroke and people getting all kinds of messed up under 90 degrees. The next day, it was Friday, the high was like 80, 85. So not near, like 10 degrees cooler. Instead of the 90 to 95, it was just the 24 hours prior. And it really cooled off today. I think the winds might have switched off of the water. That'll do it. '90s for a couple of days last week here, and '90s all week, yeah. We're kind of oscillating. We're going to get back to the warmth again, but then we kind of goes away again. And a few days in the mid-90s with the 60% humidity. Yeah, we've been really humid. Dew point around 70, 72, 73. That is just oppressive. Yeah, humidity is unpleasant. That's putting it mildly. It's only 95, Dallas Fort Worth, but quite a bit of humidity. It's the humidity that gets you, because your cooling system relies on evaporation, and if you're covered in there's no place for the moisture to go in the air, there's no place for you to cool down. So you Pool of the River, yeah, 96 in Nashville. Yeah, no, it's been hot. It has been hot. 96 in Nashville. Yeah, no, we cooled off. I don't know where we are right now, but is it showing on my watch somewhere? I don't think so. I think it said the current. No, it doesn't. I wonder if probably a friggin' app. Is there a weather app? Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, right now it's only 64. That's pretty cool. That's because we must have the wind off the water or something like that. Oh yeah, God, we've had the air conditioner running friggin' nonstop for at least a couple of days, and I've learned over the years to just run it heavy overnight. Just curl up with a blanket, because we will never be able to break the heat the next night unless we get a jump on it, like in the nighttime, to cool the house down, or it'll just be completely oppressive in here. Yeah, I saw we had some storms earlier, but they're saying we might get. I thought I heard thunder when I first sat down. They're saying we might get another round here. Man, I do love this guitar. The Yamaha. I tell you, it's the Seymour Duncan pickups. They sound good. These guitars are pretty inexpensive too, like $750, something like that. And it's a transparent. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, maybe I can get it on this cam. Yeah, not really. The finish is actually transparent. I mean, it's coming through, but it's not really coming through. It's mostly reflecting. Yeah. How can I get... You son of a bitch. What's my favorite Monday guitar? God, I don't know. I've had so many ones that I really... And they've been so different. You know, it's hard to pick. You know, this one I think was a little surprising at how much I've really liked it. It's such. Well, I like HSS to start. I like Seymour Duncan pickups, so it was a high probability we were going to get along. It's got the locking Grovers, you know. So this guitar has, you know, been kind of surprisingly good. I got another one recently. I got a couple of ones recently that surprising. I'm looking forward to you know, trying them out. I will say this, that Fender Tele was actually kind of nice. The what was the other one? The EVH. I mean, we started out really good. That EVH is really nice. The ESP was nice. Even the Shaq, they've all been pretty good, but you know, they're all sort of mid-price guitars. Haven't really had a budget guitar yet. And when I say budget, I mean under $500 new. Right? Brand new, under 500. Haven't had one of those. This is, I think, the lowest priced one we've had so far. At about $750, I think these go for. This might be the cheapest guitar we've featured. I think so. Because I want to say the EVH is about $1,000, $1,100. The Schecter was like $999, somewhere around there. The ESP was like $1399. That Fender is like $1,150 or $1,050, something like that, $1,100. Trying to think of some of the prices. This one was definitely on the low end. Honestly, they've all been pretty nice. Yeah, you know what? I've had some really good luck so far. I haven't had one yet so far that's been you know, right. Two things. One, and I thought I did a pretty good job hiding it. Both the ESP and the Petrucci had dings in them on the back. Clearly someone like just dinged it, right? The ESP had a thing on the top back, and the Petrucci had one kind of in a similar place, sort of like on the back, like up near the top. So when I would just turn it over, because it was at the bottom, you couldn't really see it. You know, doesn't matter anyway. It's like that particular guitar. It's just a demo model. It's just there to show the guitar off. You know, if you ordered one, you're gonna get a brand new one in a box. Oh yeah, the Charvel. That's a great guitar too. That was such a workhorse guitar. And again, I kind of like it because it was an HSS. Right, I really like that config. About the red Charvel you had on the Guitar Monday. Yeah, that's a nice guitar. And it's a nice color, right, the Ferrari red. And it really did remind me of the old, like, Model 1A from 86 through, like, 88. Clearly, used prices are dropping like crazy. Good time to be a buyer. Oh yeah, oh yeah. In fact, I was going to mention that at some point. I agree. I think used prices are coming way down. You know what? They shot up artificially. It's like, yep, but it's a 2013 guitar. Like, this isn't some guitar. They're like, well, yeah, they go for more money now. Yeah, but not this guitar. This guitar sold for $9.99. Well, they're $13.99 now. Yeah, but this guitar didn't. No one paid $13.99 for this guitar ever. So why are you asking more for what it went for new? Like, that's what they go for now. It's like, come on. And yeah, but you know what happens? Inventory balloons from 50,000 items at Guitar Center to 100,000 items, and they say, you know what? Maybe we should start lowering prices. I've heard a few manufacturers are going to start lowering prices too. You know what it is? It's just corporate greed. You know, you charge the most you can possibly get away with. Let me just tell you what businesses charge. The most they possibly can. Just never forget that. They're not there to do you a favor. They're just not. So whatever they can get away with. And you know what people do? They say, you know what? I'm going to pass. And then when people pass on it enough and they don't buy them, they say, you know what? We might have to lower prices. Gibson famously raised prices by 30% in 2015 and then lowered prices the following, like, at least 2 years. Because I am sure that sales tanked. Right? So, plus, it was a tough year. They were doing all robo-tuners, and they were doing the special nut, the titanium nut, and there was all kinds of things. And the Scribble Les Paul 100, there was a lot of problems. But anyway, let's take a look here. So let's do guitars, electric guitars, and solid body electric guitars. Seeing a few things. Let's do something. Yeah, see that? Yeah, I'm not seeing. Do they have a thing on? Nope. Nope. Price drop deals. Yeah, I'm not seeing as big a drops as I was in the prior years, but maybe they're starting out at a lower price. All right. So there's not as much drop. Like $15.39 to $13.99, $48.99 to $44.99. I was seeing $48.99 to $28.99. They were slashing prices. Maybe not so much right now. Again, it depends on where it starts. But you're seeing some drop. What's their inventory right now? Speaking of supply and demand. So on the main page, nope. Nope. Oh, 23,000, 84,000. Yeah, they're already down 100. They're down about 11,000 items from just a few weeks ago. So they're probably going to try to get this number closer to historically, and I have been following this friggin' page for at least 15 years. And I, like, almost every day, like with my morning coffee, I go and I check the listings. This number has changed from a low during the pandemic because so many stores were closed of like under 10,000 items to, in fact, at one point it was under like 5,000 items. It was ridiculous because only a handful of stores were open and shipping. To normally being about 50,000 items for years and years and years. It's always been about 50,000. Go down to 48, go up to 52, back down to 50, 48, 52, and it just sort of hovered around 50,000. Recently, it got up to almost 100,000. It was like 99 and high nines. It probably hit 1,000 and I just missed it. But they hit almost 100,000 items. Why? Because they were buying gear like crazy. They're asking way too much money for it. And people were saying, you know what? I'm going to pass. And you do that enough, and you will build a massive inventory of gear. And eventually you have to say, you know what? I got to sell some of this gear. And hence, the prices start to go down. It is a classic supply and demand. Prices go up, causes demand to fall. Demand falls, inventory supply builds, and now you got the double whammy of low demand and high supply. And now you really got to start thinking about, maybe we can cut a little bit off of this. You know, we gotta have some money rolling in. So a friend of mine in the industry for many, many years told me over 10 years ago, because I said, you know, I've been finding some really amazing deals on Guitar Center Used. He said, let me let you in on a little secret about Guitar Center Used. Now remember, this is a long time ago. They're a very different company now. But then, at the time, he said they work on a high turnover. Big, short margin and a high turnover. And they want to churn. And what they do is they get it in. He goes, and they'll mark it up between like 15 and 20% and sell it very quickly. Like literally in a day or 2 days. He goes, now, I know it doesn't sound like they're making much money there, but if you could take your money and put it in an account and be guaranteed 15 or 20% on that, you know, in like 24 hours, get all your money back plus another 15 or 20%, because you would do that all day long. He goes, so they just figured out that, he goes, and plus it kept stock moving. The same stock didn't sit around for very long, and they would just churn. And he goes, and it was very profitable for them because they were laying out money, but they were quickly getting that money back and some. And always making a little bit of profit, like every friggin' day, always. And so he goes, I don't think they're doing that now. I think they're, you know, what can we get for it? Or the old, yeah, but what'll someone pay for it? Never mind what we paid for it. What do you think we can get for it? Right? I think they've sort of gone to that route. I still find easily my best deals at Guitar Center Used, because you know I don't really find deals on Reverb. I just don't. All the deals I tend to find are on Guitar Center Used, and I like to go there because if there's a problem, I can just run that shit right back up to the store and say, yeah, I don't like it for any reason. I don't like it now. Yeah, I thought I was going to like it. I don't like it. I want my money back, and I get it back, except for the shipping. But who gives a shit? You'll take a more of a beating other than the $20 you paid for shipping. Ugh. Car market too. You know what? We were shopping for cars recently. My wife, gotten a little fender bender, and she's thinking about, rather than fixing her car, maybe getting a different car, using the money from the insurance to get maybe something a little newer. She has a 2016 Cadillac ATS, fully paid for, but it can still get a sticker and everything, but it's a little damaged on the bottom of the door on one side, and you feel like it's paid for. I got my money out of it. We're going here, and maybe maybe switch up and get it. So we started shopping. We started looking around for used cars. And I'm telling you, the prices, we were looking for a couple years ago for the kids and couldn't find anything. But we were finding some nice stuff for what I thought was pretty good money. $45-day return, second to none. Yeah, that's what I like about that. Yeah, Reverb prices can be ridiculous, and I think someone hit it on the head here. Super Lead, because of the fees. The seller fees are so high. So I sold a lot on Reverb during the pandemic. I was blowing through guitars because my wife got laid off, and I was in a panic, and I just wanted to, get as much cash as we could get. And I remember I sold a Les Paul Standard on there for like $2,000, $19.99. The dude paid like almost $22.50 for the thing after tax and shipping, and I got like just a little over $18. It was like a $450 swing from what he paid to what I got to make that transaction go through. I was like, damn, someone's making money between the cost of shipping, which came out of those funds. But that wasn't that much. That was like probably, 60 or 70 bucks. And it was really the fees and the taxes. I very rarely get a good deal on Reverb. I've got some crazy good deals on Guitar Center used. And they've had some stuff up there recently. I was like, holy shit, this can't be real. And it would be gone. I'd be like, no way that was real. No one's giving away that. What? No way. There was one recently that really, I should have just bought it. I actually have the cash right now. Could have done it. But they had not a Les Paul custom, but they had a custom shop gold top Les Paul without a headstock break. It was just a Les Paul, so the back of the headstock, it's stamped, right, with the ink. For like $2,300, something that's normally $1,000 more. I was like, why? What? This can't be right. And you know what it is? It feels like it's too good to be true. But why not take the risk? It's at Guitar Center. Say, oh, I thought it was something else. Sorry, yeah, I'll pay for my shipping. It's a $22 risk to see if you're getting a custom shop Les Paul for freaking $22.50. That's short. That's short friggin' money for that guitar. What's up, Tactical? You're in Europe and it's so expensive. Yeah. Again, you have to send a message with your wallet and basically say, yeah, I'm not a buyer there. At that price, I'm walking away. And you know what happens? People realize that guitars, won't get them through the rough times like money will. So they wind up having a change of heart. It's funny, I was watching Reverb did a thing recently with Joe Bonamassa. And, and he's a savvy buyer. And so, someone reached out to him and was trying to sell him this Les Paul owned by Tommy Bolin. And he goes, I could see what was happening here. It was like this dude was going to be a middleman and, and buy himself a new, Aston Martin with the proceeds from the sale, right? I'm going to buy it from him for $200,000 and sell it to you for $400,000. And he was like, no, I don't think so. I only deal with the owners I don't deal with middlemen. And wound up getting the deal. He wound up getting the guitar, going through the deal. I have heard good things about Facebook Marketplace. It's like it's sort of supplanting Craigslist, because Craigslist wants your phone number now. I can't place an ad on Craigslist without giving my mobile number. I always give them my Google Voice number, and they're like, "Oh no, that number isn't acceptable." I'm like, "Well, how about my home phone, which is also a voice over IP?" They're like, "No, we need like your cell phone." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not giving you that number." I've had that number since September of 1992. So, no. Yeah, did you see that too? Yeah. It was a great video. And, he's just a steward of this stuff for his lifetime until, right? Harley Benton, the ST59HM has an alder body? Oh, let's look that up. Harley Benton, what is it here? ST59. Is it the M or the HM? M? It does say alder body. That's amazing. Yeah, they're 8 weeks out from getting one, but sure, you could order one. They don't have it in stock. Huh? That's pretty good. Oh yeah, I only do a face-to-face meeting when I do anything on Craigslist or anything like that. I always meet them at the same place, like Legacy Place in Dedham, because it's right off the highway. And it's filled with cameras. There's a camera like everywhere. And so I usually just hang out there, meet people there, and do the transaction. Bottom ass. I know. I heard him say the 200,000 on the 58 Flying V, which she wanted like $500 for it, and he's like, "Well, that's a little low." Chris Buck's new overdrive tube pedal is $500. Yeah, but you got to remember that anything artist endorsed, anything that's got an artist fee to it, is going to be, I'm sure 100 of that is going to him. So, could be 400 if it just didn't have his name on it. Top brands? I don't know if I have a top brand. Ibanez, maybe. Fender. We have that. I've been playing a lot of the Vola. I tell you that friggin' I love the Aries. Aries has been amazing. I really love that guitar. In sheer numbers, though, probably you are right. Ibanez and Fender are probably 1 and 2. Though in sheer numbers, I'd have to start looking. I'm amassing the Vola collection. Extra 95,000. And no, not an extra 95,000. 195,000. He gave her an extra 199,500. She wanted 500 for it because, you know, it was kind of old and cracked and didn't have a case. What presets do you typically use on THU? In the description of a lot of my videos is a link to my patch bank. And there I usually use like dual heavy rig, behave lead, what's the other one I use a lot? I can't think of it. Another lead one. You know, it's probably in this bank. It is, I know, it's Buttery Lead. Buttery Lead, that's the other one. And Contemporary Blues, too. Contemporary Blues, I use that one a lot. That's a good one. It's a good one. Just basically a clean amp with a tube screamer in front of it, but it works. I should do a comparison between the 90s Pacifica and the 612. You know, I could. Right away, I can tell you that the 90s one has a little bit thinner neck. Without a doubt. Also, DiMarzio pickups in that one, and Seymour Duncan in this one. So there's an obvious difference. That one, it got a little modded, unfortunately, and they changed, I think, either the bridge or the block on the bridge. Doesn't quite fit the guitar right. I kind of treat it like a hardtail. But, yeah, no, there's room for comparison. They're very similar, but kind of different, too. This is also, I feel, like a harder edge, but I could be wrong on that. I feel like the edge of this is a little bit more hard edge, closer to like an RG feel, but not quite as hard as the RG, but still pretty hard edged compared to the one upstairs. I'd have to, you know, I feel like that's a tiny bit more rounded, but I'd have to double check. And I feel like that body up there might be a touch thinner than this. Could you get a Van Halen Carnal Knowledge tone on THU? You'd have to work it. There's a bunch of VH amps in it, though. And a bunch of stereo signals to get, like, dimensions and stuff like that to get stereo spread. You could even set up 2 Van Halen amps, split them, and run them through completely different things and literally hard isolate left and right ear. Or a mix, whatever you want to do. 90s models were lightweight. Yeah, this is not lightweight. Not even close. This has got some weight to it. Yeah, the headstocks are a little different. I'd have to, yeah, no, you're right. It is. No, it is. It's a little different. I think the headstock is slightly different. Close, but not exactly. Or they place the logo and it's messing your head up. Exactly, Stairway to Metal. It's the Zakk Wylde version. YJM pickups, DiMarzio or Duncan. You know, I always like the DiMarzios, but I'm sure the Duncans are fine. They're probably the same exact friggin' pickup. Yeah, right. Zakk Wylde. It oddly works. Retro buffer. You saw a Yamaha acoustic for $6,000 or something like that. Well, if you want an L series from Yamaha made in Japan, they're like $4,500 and up. A little crazy, but that's what they're asking. It is a good-looking guitar. Would look even better taking the plastic off the pickguard, but this is a loaner, and I don't want to, you know. I'm not taking the plastic off because it's a loaner. The Zakk Wylde version. Oh my God, if I ever get a Zakk Wylde guitar here, it's going to be pinch harmonic after pinch harmonic. Oh. I'm just saying, if Hendrix were alive today, he'd probably be playing a Yamaha Pacifica. I'm just saying. Probably. We can only speculate. It's either this or a Zakk Wylde. One or the other. GRB Aquatics. My son just got another fish. He got a tang. You wonder if Hendrix would have played a Floyd Rose? Maybe. I don't know. You get a little curmudgeon-y. And you might, we didn't have unlocking nothing. We liked it. We didn't have any problems. Didn't you say he'd probably play Evola last week? Did I? Maybe. I'm just saying, if Randy were still alive. I'm just saying, if Jimmy Page were still alive, he'd probably be playing a Yamaha. Yeah, no, Hendrix would probably have his own line of Hendrix guitars. Yeah, he'd be the top guy paid from Fender. Exactly. If Keith Richards were still alive, he'd probably be playing a Schecter. God rest his soul. Exactly. Hendrix would probably be playing a wild guitar, then probably switch to Donner. Yeah, Yamaha basses have been, kind of like Music Man basses. Music Man was a bass company long before they were a guitar company. And didn't Music Man start out as a Leo Fender thing? Right? Was it Music Man amps? And I think Fender might have called him out on it or something. I don't know. There was some weirdness there. Then it became G&L, then he started G&L. For a guy who quit the business, he never really quit the business. He just sold out by selling to CBS. Oh, yeah, right. Music Man amps and then the Stingray bass. Because the Stingray bass was really popular. Music Man basses had a rep. They really did. The Stingray bass was a very popular bass. Without a doubt. I remember. Sting play a Stingray bass. I thought Sting played a... I thought he played those, like, the old, like, the old Precision, right? Had the Telly headstock. Which one had the Telly headstock and the... trying to remember what that bass was. And then he played Steinberger for years. Yeah, it's a Fender Jazz, right? Was it a Jazz bass? And then eventually they, yeah, the 54. Is it a 54P bass? He had a... Yeah, he had one guitar that was sort of the main, you know. I only have one bass. I have an Ibanez. Made in Korea. And it's in pieces. Okay, so it's a P with a chat. It's a mutt. Right, it's a parts caster. Right, P bass with a jazz bass neck. Sure. Yeah, that sounds about right. When did Sting become Sting? I think they called him Sting because he used to wear this like black and yellow striped shirt, look like a bee. Right? That's the official explanation. Lord knows what the real one is. Oh, that's a good looking color. Let's get down in the cam here. Oh, sure. Do. Yeah, you went to go see Big Head Todd and the Wallflowers. I tell you, man, I went to see Lake Street Dive. It was a horrible live experience. People suck. They never shut the fuck up, and they get too drunk, and it was just, people just can't, there's too many people, and you're gonna get out of thousands of people, like a drunk asshole, like every so many feet, and it's just, they're loud and obnoxious, and it just ruins it. It's like, God, these people just could not shut the fuck up. Yeah, that looks green. They call it indigo blue, but in person it looks more like teal, like a green. Looks more teal in person. I think they call that a blue, but I think it's, what do they call that, indigo blue or something? But it's not. It's more like, without a doubt, it's way more like a teal. Gotta get it like almost like up in the light to get the light to light up the. I agree. I think the tinted neck looks really good too. Oh man, we got new members. Oh, here we go. We have new people joining. Who do we have? Welcome, Noise Bloom, JP Devlin, Corey Thunderlick, Mike Dicato, just Mike, and Chris D. Mike D and Chris D. Welcome. Made in Indonesia? Yes, this is, in fact, I just double checked that, right? Made in. Made in Indonesia. I'd say it's broken in. Sounds good. Yeah, welcome, guys. How do they get the special emojis again? Is it :SFB? And then they'll get just the special icons that I made, like the shame icon and the bell with the handle. Yeah, you get some custom icons. Or custom emojis. You maintain Aerosmith is really a Worcester band? I don't know. I could have sworn they were from Walpole, which is hardly Worcester. And hardly Boston either. It's really Norfolk County. I thought it was like Walpole and like Plainville. Right? Was Tyler from New Hampshire? Try to run Guitar Rig and THU together? No. They might be really competing for resources too. Guitar Rig has got quite a bit of overhead. I think THU is far less resource intensive. No. I gotta think it'd cause you some problems to run it. Like say you opened up Reaper and you put two audio tracks in. One guy's running through THU and the other guy's running through, Guitar Rig. Yeah, I don't know. Just adding a second instance of THU one time, like really severely hurt it when I had a friend over. I had to cut the buffers. I mean, I had to increase the buffers from like 128 to like either 256 or even 512 just to get it so we weren't dropping out and crackling. And that was a pretty strong system too. That was no slouch. Longview Farms? No. Never heard of it. Any thoughts of shaving the beard? Now that it's turned gray, maybe. Can't really even see it any longer. Never played a Yamaha SG2000. Trying to think. They had one. I forget what it was, like the 1200. It was like, God, I used to remember the 2400. They had one that was like really decked out, like incredible, like their top of the line model. We found it all once. It had the ebony fretboard and set neck or neck through. It was crazy. The Pacificas at the very end. We got one in. I couldn't believe it. Oh my God. And yeah, I think they regretted getting that. 'Cause it's high-end guitar. The people don't drop that kind of money in small stores. They just don't. I don't think I ever had a goatee. You probably just didn't see the sides because I had cut it a little small, but I've never had just a goatee. Ever. Is that the Santana guitar? I don't know, Santana playing Yamaha? I thought who was with Santana? Santana I thought was with, is he with Sir? I'm trying to think, PRS. I always think of PRS when I think of Santana. Is he still with PRS? Yeah, PRS. I thought so, yeah. Oh, they're talking about in the 70s? Oh, when Santana played. Yeah, right. Kind of like what, who was Fight the Good Fight there? Guy from Triumph. Rick Emmett. He was another Yamaha guy. A lot of people were trying to go hollow or semi-hollow. He was another one that tried to do that. I think what's his name was heading there too, Alex Lifeson, but he went back to solid body. Too much feedback. You know. Felix played Yamaha. Yeah, Yamaha's good. Stan played Gibson, Yamaha in the 70s, and the PRS. I feel like he's been with PRS since the mid-80s. You think it's that Japan makes great guitars, but no, because they export them. They just sell them to places that do, you know. Rick Emmett used to frame us at the US Festival. Interesting. What was wrong with the name Pixie Licks? It had 3 X's at the end, and I started to get blocked. People were like, "Oh, I went to look at your video today, and the content was blocked." And it was because of the 3 X's, and I started to lose at advertising. Every video, no matter how benign, had a problem. The problem was I had 3 X's in my name, right? It was Pixie. It was 5 X's total. PIXXYLIXXX, and those 3 X's, which was after Lexi Fox, right? I didn't make that up. It came after Lexi. It was a spoof on Lexi Fox for a video I was making about Steel Panther. And they removed the last X. They couldn't even mention Lexi Fox on Facebook without cutting that last X off, even though on all the printed materials it has 3 X's at the end. I did the same thing, 3 X's. And that was the end of that. They were like, "Oh, no, you're triple X. Try getting a Facebook name with that. Try getting an Instagram name with those X's." Never going to happen. Unfortunately, Steve from Boston has the letters FB, and you can't do anything with FB on Facebook. They won't let you do it. Those 2 letters cannot be next to each other. Period. End of story. So any name, that's why I can't do that on I had to change my name. I couldn't even, I wanted to use SFB guitar on all of them. They wouldn't let me do it on Facebook. They're like, yeah, you have to choose another name. Well, what's wrong with it? And they would never tell me, but fooling around going FBS, SFB, all right, you realize that as long as I didn't have it FB, right, those are the two letters. Of those, as long as those weren't in that order, F and then B, they would accept the name. But the second I had F and then B, boom, nope, not going to happen. No name. Can't do it. That name is rejected. So. Whatever happened to Travis Bean guitar, Steve aluminum necks? Well, you know, people try alternate materials and turns out it's really hard to work with and no one really wants it. And at the end of the day, Kramer started out with aluminum necks, right? And it went nowhere, right? People try alternative materials all the time. It goes nowhere. No, Pixie, it was, well, first of all, there was the Pixie Theater down in Hyde Park where a lot of local bands practiced upstairs from the Pixie Theater. So the Pixie Theater was a movie theater. And upstairs from the Pixie Theater, which really wasn't, the Pixie Theater was a building that looked like it had from the outside, it looks like there's a theater in this building, but there wasn't. You would go into that building, and they had grafted there was another building in the back lot, and they had grafted in a walkway between the two so you wouldn't know. And as you walked in to go through the lobby, that you were in the first building. Then you would go through some doors and down a hallway and then into the theater. That was it was a completely different building, right? And the back lot. I'm like, how the hell did they ever fit a movie theater in this building? But they didn't. It was in another building behind it. And you would just go through it. Above the Pixie Theater, were bands. You could go in there and rehearse. There were countless bands up there. I bought my first Shure Vocal Master PA. I went to go see a friend of mine's band, and the guitar player was playing a 54 Strat. The dude in the band next door, the band I think they were called the Lanks, that dude had a 52 Les Paul with the trapeze tailpiece. You know? Crazy times. Of course, back then, they weren't all that old. You know, this is 1979. That Strat is like 25 years old. Not that, right? Something from, say, the late 90s now. You're like, oh, shit. Oh, guess that wasn't that long earlier. Like, he literally had the OG year Strat. It was only 25 years later. You know? Not spending over $300 for, yeah, but that was a moment in time. I remember when I had the $300 limit, my kids were like real little. My kids are adults now. That was a very long time ago. When I started spending more than $300, people were like losing their shit. It's like, what are you talking about? Spend what the hell I want. Of course, now I refuse to spend anything. I want them all given to me, but that's a whole nother video. Ever been to the Blue Parrot? Nope. No. The only place I'd go to Cambridge was Johnny D's Uptown and, of course, the Middle East. And what was the other one? Night Stage. Night Stage would get some acts in. I saw Hiram Bullock there. I saw Mike Stern there a few times. I saw, you know, the funk horns there, who was at Pee Wee and Fred. You know, the pretty much the brass section behind James Brown. Yeah, Night Stage, my God. And what was the place downstairs? Rosie's? You know, downstairs, get some dinner. You could get in a little early. Dude who used to clean up one of the stores, I found out later. I happened to go there, and he was there. I said, oh, man, what are you doing? He would clean up. He goes, my grandfather owns this place. We were there to see Mike Stern, and we wound up hanging out between sets when they cleared the room, and going down and meeting Mike and the band. And then Mike was pretty drunk, and then going back upstairs and hanging out and catching the second set. It was great. And what's so funny is that they were losing steam. That first set, they were way more on fire than that second set. Second set, way more low-key than the first one. Like, they definitely ran out a little bit of energy. Plus, Mike was just getting hammered. He really was drinking heavy. And we were talking to him. He was clearly drunk, slurring his speech. Like, he was shit-faced. But he got up on stage and ran through the tunes. Yeah, no, I did. I got a Les Paul. I got it for short money. Now I found out why. And I remember when I got it, the dude was just like, "Hey, man, if you don't like this guitar, just remember we have a 45-day return policy," which is sort of an odd thing to say when you're buying a guitar, right? As soon as I didn't even want to leave the store. As soon as I had it shipped to the store, I opened it up and said, "What the hell is this?" I said, no. I should have just returned it right then, but instead I said, well, at least take it home and make a video. And I wound up bringing it back. And the guy was giving me shit, and I was like, I don't want to hear it. You know, you should have said that this had some crazy... And the more I look at the photos from that, it looks like it's eaten away. Like it was... What could eat that away? Lacquer? Paint thinner? And the overspray of alcohol from hairspray? Like, what's going to eat that lacquer and make all those little pits, like around the front of that guitar? Like, it got sprayed with something, and then someone tried to wipe it, but it was too late. If you look at it, I don't think they're sitting on top of the finish. I think the finish is eaten away. It was bizarre. Oh, that guitar. That bounced around for a few weeks before it found its final resting space. You know, for electronics cavity and electric guitar shielding paint or copper foil, I like the copper foil. I have used the shielding paint. It does look clean, but the copper foil can be clean too if you do a good. Just be careful; the copper foil will cut you. Right? It's got a sharp edge. But I think the copper foil looks good. I've been kind of mainly doing that. You just have to make sure that the pieces overlap each other, and then of course there's some sort of like a metal on metal connection to make sure that the shielding is grounded as well. You know. Yeah, I'm not taking requests, John. I appreciate it, but I don't even know if I can remember that right now. But cool song. You should play that on your Spotify or whatever. So we got a couple of videos coming out this week, at least one. Your Guitar of the Week on Monday. I feel like this is getting a little low here. What else? I have another video coming out. I guess that would be a week from Thursday, probably on the 4th. Yeah, that's probably not going to come out until like the 4th. So I have a few things on the way. We're getting there. You saw Godzilla -1. I had to play BOC. There you go. Van Halen's the greatest band ever. You know, talent-wise, they're up there. You know, Alex is quite the technician, too. He's quite the drummer. He's really good. It wasn't like, you know, he was a hack and, you know, his brother, like, well, Eddie was amazing and his brother was a hack. Alex Van Halen is a pretty damn good drummer. Really good. Godzilla and Speed Racer marathons are on YouTube. Oh, man, I was watching a little Mystery Science Theater 3000 recently. I'll just throw that on in the background. Fun stuff. Totally random, but coming Tuesday. It's the 15th anniversary of Michael Jackson's death. Yeah, that dude couldn't die fast enough. I've really turned on him. I can't even listen to his music anymore. The dude was pretty much a straight-up child rapist. And that, to me, that's his legacy. You know, the child rape. You know, had a screwed up dude who had a real, like, Peter Pan complex and just like a weird dude, man. Really weird. Yeah. Yeah, one drummer's plenty. I know. What's up with the bands and double drummers? That's happened a few times. The Dead was one. There's a few bands with two drummers. Bizarre. Do the Almonds have two brothers? Really, and Leonard Skinner, too? I mean, I could see a percussionist, because it's sort of a different thing. But two drummers feels like someone said a waste of payroll. Right? That's like, what's his name? Putting, was it Giannis there? Putting his brother on the payroll with the team. Yeah, my brother's going to play basketball, too. Can your brother play basketball? No, but he's going to be on the team, and he's going to pull a salary. Is Michael Anthony a good bassist? Absolutely. Damn good bassist. Damn good timing. I've seen him a few times outside of Van Halen. Really good. I saw him with, oddly enough, Blue Oyster Cult at a NAMM Jam. He was nailing it. Did you ever see him with John 5? Right on. Spot on. Yeah, well, you know, I think he didn't get the place of John Entwistle because Pete Townsend wasn't a flash guitar player. He was more of a chord player, and those little melodies were filled in, quite frankly, by the bass player. You know, songs like "The Real Me." But it's the complete opposite in Van Halen. You have a flashy top guitar player, and the bass is just sort of tucked in the background. Janice had two brothers on the payroll. Yeah, right? Sutherland, yeah, I saw that he had passed away. When I think of Donald Sutherland, I probably think a little bit more of Animal House, and then, of course, his amazing, work in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But I saw Invasion of the Body Snatchers recently, and it didn't really hold up. The special effects work at the end was pretty bad, and it was like, it kind of lost a lot. Unlike Aliens, which is around the same period, right? 78. I want to say Aliens 79, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers might have been 78 or 77. I think 78 was Invasion. But it was just bleak, right? Invasion of the Body Snatchers was so freaking such a bleak movie. Ordinary People, oh my God. We were going up, we were watching movies. We saw like Jaws 3, which is a campy, a titty flick. Then we see like Harold and Maude, right? Because it's just like little indie theater, like up in the square. So we go up and we go see like Harold and Maude, which you had no idea what we were seeing. And we were like, oh, that was fun. That was, a funny movie, weird, bizarre movie. And then we go and we say, we'll go, what should we see? And the new movie came in, Ordinary People. Oh, yeah, we'll go and see this movie. We had Mary Tyler Moore, she's funny. And we go to this movie and we're like, oh, this movie's a bummer. This movie is quite, wow, this is really bumming me out. Horribly bad friggin' bum. Have I spent much time in New York City? Not really. Well, we didn't know anything about it. I didn't know that it was. We didn't know anything about it. All I saw was Donald Sutherland, who had been in Animal House, and Mary Tyler Moore, who all her television work was comedy, and so we're like, oh, we'll just go see this movie. I knew nothing about it. Right? It might have been in the same day, right? Go see some movie earlier in the day, go get some lunch, go back, go see another movie, right? Hanging out at the movie theater, killing a day. We went and saw Ordinary People, and we're just like, oh, God, this movie is such a bummer. Huh. I remember, what did we go see there? We went to go see Kill or Be Killed. Right? Don't you remember Kill or Be Killed? Kung Fu movie. And I think another one was Kill and Kill Again. Again, someone look these up on IMDb. I'm pretty sure that those were the movies. And I remember at one point, I could have sworn I think it was at the start of either Kill or Be Killed or Kill and Kill Again, which are both Kung Fu movies. There was a bit of dialogue that happens, and the whole audience, like, lets out a gasp of laughter. And I had missed it. And I was like, I turned to my friend in the theater and I go, what did he say? And he goes, he said that they discovered a way to extract oil, crude oil, from potatoes. That was the big secret they were guarding. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty stupid. You think both of those Kill movies are on riff tracks? Really? Yeah. That would be perfect for it. Harold and Maude, or Why I Don't Want to Visit Grandma Anymore. Yeah. Harold and Maude was a shocker. We had no idea what that movie was about. Now we'll just go see this. We were like, huh. But at least that was quirky and sort of weird and funny. It was a comedy. Ordinary People was quite humorless. Like, huh. I think I was 13, 14. Yeah, Donald Sutherland was so good. Don't they talk about the universe and the, right, in your pinky nail, and an atom? like in a molecule in your pinky nail. So, like they're getting high. Oh, it's so funny. I don't think I know that movie, Suspiria. I'd have to look it up. Is Animal House the best comedy movie? I don't know that it holds up any longer. You know, some comedies hold up better than others. Like Star Wars. Yeah, right. Airplane. Yeah, from that era. Airplane. Because it's the, 1,000 jokes a minute sort of, tact. 0.0. Did we give up when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? No! I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. There's another movie that didn't hold up. They actually ran that recently on like HBO. Someone had it, and they were running the full uncut version. And man, it did. That's Chris Rock's first movie. Man, it did not hold up. I'll bet the precursor to that, although they wouldn't admit it, but they pretty much got it from, they were all in a Robert Townsend movie, right? Hollywood Shuffle. That's a far better written movie. Even that's a little weak, but still better than I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, which, again, it's a spoof on a blaxploitation movies, but if you want to see the best spoof on a blaxploitation movie, to me, it's Black Dynamite. Black Dynamite is the greatest blaxploitation spoof ever made. It is just, it's a masterpiece. I threw that shit before I came in the room. Yeah, Hollywood Shuffle. He threw the last like 25 grand on his American Express. Didn't they? Were they going to go see a movie in The Simpsons, right? We're going to see a rated R movie, Bart and Fink, which is, again, a pretty heavy movie, right? I don't think I have seen Enter the Fist. I've probably seen parts of it. Well, I don't know about Super Fuzz, but Hot Fuzz is a masterpiece. Do the Right Thing is a great movie. It's very stylistic of the time. You go back and watch it now and you realize, wow, and just the heat, the hot of the summer really does set a stage, right? The city's sort of boiling over. A lot of great lines out of that movie, too. Exactly, the one rib. You got change for 100? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Chris Rock's first movie. Yeah, God, Howard the Duck, what a colossal failure, huh? What were they thinking? I don't remember Caveman. I don't remember that. Porky's at the time, again, that's another movie that's probably not going to hold up. But Porky's had such just a rep at the time of being this, like, very, salacious and, crazy beyond, but again, I think if you saw it now, it's probably not. I think Animal House was the better version of Porky's. Slapshot was good, but I wasn't a big hockey guy, but I know people that love that friggin' movie. Absolutely love it. Top Secret was actually pretty good. Again, kind of from the airplane, from the airplane sort of genre of 1,000 jokes a minute. But it was good. You watch Porky's when you were way too young. A friend of mine, around Halloween, he goes, I don't know what I was thinking. He showed his kids Poltergeist. He goes, they had just nightmares. It was like I ruined them. They were so scared by that movie. He goes, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, oh, this is a movie I watched when I was a kid, but his kids were little. And it was scary. I'm like, yeah, that's probably not for little kids. He's like, oh, it gave him nightmares. Oh, it was the worst. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I didn't see a ton of Monty Python here. It didn't, I don't know. I almost feel like it never made it to the big theaters. It only kind of was like a small theater run, at least around here. Oh, really? He can't have Vinnie Barbarino as Jim Morrison, so he hired Val Kilmer, right? Yeah, but that Jim Morrison movie sucked. That was more hype than real. You mentioned Ordinary People, which honestly, because I lived for a year, and the location it was filmed, like in the house or just the general area. Yeah. History of the World Part 1. It's good to be the king. I think, I'm trying to remember some of the bad Basket Case was a really bad horror movie, but there was one. I'd have to go back and look. Some zombie movies, some really bad zombie movies. Basket Case was a goddamn masterpiece, exactly. Yeah, Transplants and Automobiles is a classic, sure. Right around that. And I think Transplants came a little later. Is that 87? That movie comes out? When does Trains, Planes, and Automobiles comes out? I want to say 86 or 87. I want to say 87. Yeah, Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles. I saw both in the theater. I never saw Stir Crazy. Yeah, there's a couple of movies I missed. Stir Crazy and The Warriors were two huge movies that I didn't catch when they were around. Think the Kinks should be bigger than they are. You know, it's weird with the Kinks, because when I was a kid, there were so many Kinks tunes. I also sort of lived through one of their big periods, which is when they had that live album out, One for the Road. And that they were getting a lot of airplay. And then they had, they had a couple of big ones right around that time. Yeah, John Candy was from SCTV. I saw it on YouTube, but Bill Maher has a new book out, and he wanted someone to interview him about the book, basically pushing the book, right? And so he brought in, of course, Jiminy Glick, who is, God, you gotta love Jiminy Glick, man. He calls him Bill Burr. So we're here with Bill Burr. He's like, Bill Maher. He's like, whatever. This book is amazing. I haven't read it. You know, I did read the cover, though, and it looks amazing. You know, God, that Martin Short character is just, I love Jiminy Glick, man. Do you ever see any In Living Color? So that's sort of 90s. I did and I didn't. I would see some of it. I remember, of course, Jamie Foxx as the butch-like ballerina. And I want to say it was, what's his name there? As the, or no, who was it? It was Jim Carrey as the butch ballerina. I think they both did a butch ballerina skit. And and then, of course, Jim Carrey was really big as Fire Marshal Bill, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm trying to be like I am the most mellow guitar player because it's like a PBS station. Where the men are portly, the women are rosy-cheeked, and the children are portly and rosy-cheeked. Come up with some stupid... You ever plug into your tube amps anymore at home? Only when I have company over. But unless somebody's here and we have to listen to it through a speaker, never. I always play through headphones. Always. You high, son? Sure. Sure. Exactly. Tube amps only when I share with the neighbors. hit the whammy. I don't have the whammy, but I do have the... You use the trem bar much? I have a rule on the trem bar. If the nut is locking, whammy away. No lock on the nut, I'm going to pass. If I want to use a guitar with a trem bar, you know, I'll use a guitar that has, you know, like even this. You don't see the trem bar in there, but there is the trem bar in there because it's a locking, double locking. I only use trem bars when it's double locking. If the nut is locking, don't come a knocking. It's exactly, no, not locking. If the nut's not locking, the whammy ain't rocking? No, I suppose. You have a good one, speaker. So I told you I have something for you. So if you're around, just let me know. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Eli. Yeah, we're going to wrap this up. Why do you think Jeff Beck wasn't more popular? Because he probably needed to maybe be in a bigger band. It's tough to be an instrumentalist and make it. Just ask, you know, a lot of big instrumental players. You know, it's a tough road. I think if he was like, you know, in the Rolling Stones or something, right? But anyway. No trailer update. Haven't really made any changes on the trailer yet. This year, really. I do, other than the painting, but I talked about that weeks ago, but painting the wood. But I think I'm going to do another coat of paint on the wood. It's just it's been muggy now, and now it's raining more, so I got to wait for, you know, lower humidity and better weather to finish up that painting. So September, if last year is any indication, somewhere around late September, early October, then I'll have like just a little window before it gets so freaking cold I can't do anything. That's how this works around here. All right, dudes. See you on Monday with the Guitar of the Week. And I think that might be my only video this week. I think I have 2 the following week. But anyway, check out the Guitar of the Week. I love the Guitar of the Week this week. It was a nice guitar. It was really nice. I don't want to spoil anything, but it was good. It was really good. Check it out. All right, dudes. You guys have a wonderful week. I will see you in a week. And until then, rock on. And I will see you in a week. All right, dudes. No, you rock. And there we go. Have a great week. See you in a week. And there you have it. All right, dudes. Later.